o'clock even. Ah. Alright, so he's gonna proxy that at 12 o'clock. Man, this is... Alright, this is kind of... I don't know why we keep seeing Terrans doing this with this, like, you know, flip a coin, 2/3 chance proxy. Because we saw this, we saw this in one of the games over the weekend. I think it was C versus Fantasy, which is like, well, I hope my opponent is in one of the close spawns to my proxy, because if Bogus had spawned in the bottom left, or sorry, if Reality had spawned bottom left, then this proxy would just not be very useful at all. And we just have a barracks in the main base here, so it's not going to be any silly proxy versus proxy war. So I think... I know, it's going to come down to the Marine micro here. Of course, we did see in that C vs Fantasy game that, spoiler alert, C had some amazing Marine control and just like killed a million SCVs with like 4 Marines. So that was quite impressive. I didn't think that was even possible actually, because SCVs are pretty darn good. But anyway, like if you just think about this, right? If you proxy, like if he decided instead of to put it at the 9 o'clock to put it, or sorry, instead of at the 12 o'clock to put it at the 9 o'clock, which is essentially the same thing from where he's standing, right? Because, you know, he's proxying at like the far away, or in between the far away bases. So if he just actually picked the 9 o'clock instead, which is like a 50-50 shot, then he would have been completely wrong and this proxy would do nothing. So I don't really like all this coin flipping going on here. Even if you're flipping a coin that's 2/3 in your favor, it's like, this is not poker, man. You don't do that. And it looks like his Marine actually shot the barracks a few times. Oh, he's just waiting for the Marines to spawn. So it's now 2 Marines against 1. Looks like Bogus is just going to have like a single Marine advantage the whole time, but the factory's on the way, and as soon as the Vulture comes out, the attack can end. So basically there's like a timer on how much damage this, or how long this attack has to do damage, but it looks like he's going to bunker the top of the ramp here. That's an interesting choice. But Reality's going to try and break up here. That's a terrible idea. That's not a good idea at all. If he had vision of minerals outside and he was able to glitch his SCVs through, that would be a good idea, because then he could have just stacked the SCVs through and killed everything. But unfortunately for him, his scouting SCV was just not being useful and not giving him vision anywhere. So wasn't able to do that, but it looks like he is going to be able to take down all the Marines here. Whoa! Bogus overextending himself way too much there. But the thing is, he does have that bunker to fall back to, so he is going to kind of contain Reality in his base a bit, and I think that's a great idea. So look at this, Reality just not even bothering to make an initial Vulture here, going straight for the siege tank, because he knows even if he makes a Vulture, it can't get out of his base. So you know, why even bother? And I think that's absolutely correct. Well, that's really good, because I was thinking, like, you know, what if he makes a Vulture now? It's not going to be able to get out. What is he going to do with that? But instead, he will just go straight for the siege tank, and he's going to use his barracks to spot up here. Now, siege tanks do range bunkers, even without siege mode. They will outrange the bunkers, so you can just like put the siege tank on the low ground and start shooting away at that thing. That is yeah, it's quite good. It's quite good. I like it. Reality, he also only lost a couple of SCVs here, and we can see his factory is way faster than Bogus is, and Bogus is going to follow up with an expansion here. Now that's going to get spotted by this SCV of Reality. He might try and kill this SCV making the command center even. No, he's actually just going to go back. Alright. Anyway, the tank's going to start shooting away at this bunker, but there are going to be 2 SCVs repairing it, so that's going to be plenty to keep it alive. But when siege mode finishes though, it's not going to be enough. He will just start, you know, the splash damage from the siege shots will just hit the SCVs anyway. And barracks guy is going to get chased away by these Marines. And I'm not sure why this SCV is hiding at the 3rd now. See, Bogus did see that SCV, so it's not like, oh, there's gonna be like some random proxy, or he's gonna get the scout off later. Like, I'm pretty sure Bogus will go check over there for the SCV, because he knows it's somewhere. And looks like, well, this is gonna be the end. Ooh, grabbing the SCV as well. 4 can escape. And did he build a command center? Yeah, he's already built a command center in his main base. But interestingly, Bogus' command center not only started way earlier, but also was just made at the natural. So Bogus' economy actually will be slightly stronger. Well, I mean, it will be slightly stronger eventually, but you know, he did cut SCVs in the beginning, and he didn't send out that really early SCV, so he's kind of making up for the economy he lost in the beginning of the game. But there is going to be a bit of an attack here from Reality. 4 Marines and 2 siege tanks. Those tanks are really the crucial things here. The Marines will get taken down very easily by the Vultures, but those tanks are going to be pretty deadly, especially with siege mode most likely done But he does have mines in the way though. Now, if a couple of good mines go off, that could be quite deadly, but the Marines look like they're actually going to tank the mines, and, going to try and pick off these Marines with the Vultures. He does, very nice job, and now the tanks cannot possibly advance. Oh my god, that's not a good idea. Don't do that. Do not do that! Do not do that! Why are we not watching this? Okay, it looks like he took one hit there, but you cannot advance with just two siege tanks like that. You need at least, like, you know, half a control group from back to do it. And oh my god, he's just coming out with the SCVs to take it. A third tank comes to help out though, but he is going to get at least one of these tanks. And it looks like the other one will survive though. Man, that was a very interesting idea from Bogus there to just pull early SCVs. And you know what? It's not necessarily the wrong decision. Like, that might look very weird. It's like, oh, why is he just attacking with only SCVs? But those tanks were wounded by the oh no! The tanks were wounded by the spider mines, and just two tanks by themselves are actually a little bit vulnerable. But it looks like at least this attack has been stopped somewhat. Bogus just has to be a little bit careful. Oh, Manor Barracks! The Manor Barracks in his natural. Oh god, Reality's gotta be pissed by that. Oh man, look at that. Look at the SCVs just attacking the barracks. Oh man, that was pretty sick, I gotta say. Even if Bogus loses this game, that was pretty sick. Oh, he's gonna do it again! He's gonna do it again! The epic troll racks there. And look at this, Reality, he's like losing his tanks to the front. If I was if Reality was actually Idra right now, he'd probably just leave the game. Like, if this was Idra, he would not be in the game anymore. But, you know, Reality's gonna hang on a little bit longer. That is so good. I'm actually rooting for Bogus now so hard. That's so glorious. Oh man. Anyway, it looks like Wraith is actually on the way here. So 2 factories and Starport making Wraiths for Bogus. And is there any anti-air for Reality? I'm not sure. I see 3 factories in his base, but I'm not sure if he has an armory yet. No, he's actually getting a Starport of his own, so it's very unlikely that he is actually getting an armory. So he's going to take a little bit of damage from these Wraiths. Crucially, I think when the first Wraith comes out, it can start attacking these units at the front that are containing him, and then he's just going to have to run away. And if he runs back through the middle of the map, he will actually just run into a bunch of spider mines and die. So this actually could be a little bit dangerous for Reality. And the supply counts are actually dead even right now, 52 to 52. So any any early disadvantage that Bogus might have had is completely gone now. I'm not even sure if he was necessarily at a very early disadvantage, because he did kill a few SCVs. He did force a bunch of SCVs off mining. So it might have just made up for the 8 racks anyway. It looks like a bunch of Vultures actually coming in here to help out. That Wraith actually just going to finish off this barracks, not actually going to go harass the tanks or anything. I'm a little bit surprised by this. Or actually, no, I guess... Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I think I just misunderstood the mini-map or something. No, has Reality actually pulled back all his forces already? Are those just spider mines? Yeah, okay, it looks like actually all that stuff on the map is just spider mines, so... I got a little bit confused there. Whoopsie daisies. My bad, my bad. And looks like Reality just gonna pick off some of these Vultures in the middle, but that Wraith gonna pew him away. So Reality is still in a fine position here, despite getting trolled hardcore by that barracks. Hopefully his mental state wasn't too effective, because of course that is pretty important as well. You know, even I think more important even than like the economic damage that the barracks did, which is just like delaying the mining by 30 seconds or so. Just the frustration that causes for Reality must just be like. Anyway, looks like wow. Bogus was not paying attention at all to his Wraith, so immediately losing that one to Reality's. Reality's Wraith only takes a single hit there. Reality, by the way, is a pretty annoying name to have to say really fast. Tongue twister. 3 more factories going up for Bogus. So he's going to be on 5 facts and a Starport. Looks like he's going to switch into dropship production here. Going to be a little bit careful since Reality does have Wraiths out of his own. And oh my god, this is actually the reverse situation than what I thought. I thought this would be happening to Reality's tanks here, since Bogus was the one that got the faster Starport, but instead he only made a single Wraith, did not actually harass with it, and is now getting his own tanks pew-pewed by these Wraiths. He does have a couple of Goliaths coming out though, so he will be able to defend those tanks. They don't have the range upgrade, so the Wraiths will just pull back. In Reality, it looks like he's just going to siege up and do a bit of a semi-contain here. Of course, Bogus can still move out the right side from his third. There's a narrow ramp there, so he's not completely contained. but it's obviously a lot more difficult to move like an entire mech army through a narrow ramp, so it's going to be a little bit annoying. Interestingly, it's not actually for dropship, it's actually for cloak. Okay, that's... Alright, so Bogus is like, well, you know, I'm losing the air battle, but I still want to fight it anyway, so I'm just gonna make more wraiths, get some cloaking. Not sure how well that'll work, but oh, he's gonna send a couple of vultures to slow down this third command center of realities. But he's down like 20 something supply now, 25 supply. So I don't really know how this is gonna go. And it looks like the wraiths actually come in and snipe the SCV, making the third command center for Bogus as well. Tit for tat here. And now the vultures have been cleaned up on the map. Some mines being laid by that third base of Bogus, so Reality can see any more vultures trying to sneak out. But no, actually, the vultures are able to sneak out the left side of the map as well. It looks like the contain isn't quite close enough to that wide ramp outside his natural, so he can't actually stop these vultures from running out very easily, which is actually kind of annoying and, you know, somewhat defeats the purpose of a contain. But having that advanced position is definitely nice anyway, just to kind of keep the pressure on your opponent. Meanwhile, we actually have Cloak from Reality as well, and he's got 2 starports pumping wraiths. So even though they'll both have Cloak, Reality is actually going to have the air superiority here. And I think that's why we're seeing so many vultures, actually from both these players, really. You know, Reality obviously going 2-port wraiths, spending a lot of gas on those wraiths, and his sea shanks just is gonna wants to, you know, dump all the minerals on the vultures. And Bogus still on his 2 bases, kind of is going to be forced into a situation where he can only make vultures if he doesn't get that third base up. Although I think Reality doesn't actually have his 3rd gas yet, so I guess it's like the same situation for him. Yeah, he actually only just resumed making that command center. That got delayed more than I thought. Actually, wow, that's actually very surprising. Somehow Bogus has got his 3rd before Reality does, even though Reality started his first. Just the vulture sniping that SCV. Apparently he didn't replenish it, or didn't replace it very quickly. Anyway, so both players on their 3 bases. The contain not really a contain. And you know what? Oh, actually we have a big move out here from Bogus, it looks like. Coming in from both sides with his vultures. The wraiths actually overhead as well. Is he going to break it? No way. That did not work at all. And Bogus, who was catching up in supply, falling back a bit, although it looks like his wraiths are going to be able to pick off a couple of tanks here. And there is a scan. It looks like he's going to pick off a couple of these cloak wraiths as well, but then he's going to fly into a turret and lose a couple of wraiths in return, but he should just pick off these sea shanks. I don't know why he's not. He's got free sea shanks here. Oh man, that's horrible for Reality. Wow. Reality's still ahead in the supply by about 20 supplies still, just consistently throughout the game. But Bogus definitely pulling out some good moves here. Bogus looks really uncomfortable playing though. That must be so bad to just keep getting your worst matchup in these games. It's just like, ugh. Anyway, finally an SCV transfer over to Reality's third, so that's quite a bit later than Bogus's. And there's a few vultures moving out to harass it. But look at this! A couple of tanks placed to intercept any incoming vultures. Very, very nice move. Meanwhile, oh, some more Wraith on Wraith action here. Some hot Wraith on Wraith action, and it looks like Bogus's Wraiths are going to take it once again. That's going to allow him to start taking down these sea shanks at the front. Reality is going to be a little bit concerned about this. You know, he doesn't have any ground anti-air. He doesn't have enough Goliaths or turrets to deal with this. He was relying on his 2-port Wraith production, and somehow Bogus managing to outmatch him. Meanwhile, that Vulture doing quite a bit of damage here. The SCV is actually going to have to take it down. 4 kills on the Vulture before it does go down. Those SCVs going to be idle for a little bit until Reality pays attention there. But Reality is definitely kind of dropping the ball here in the mid-game. I mean, he's still a little bit ahead, but if this goes on for much longer and he keeps having these like bad engagements, you know, losing SCVs at his third, losing stuff to these Wraiths, Bogus can certainly make a comeback here, and that's not good because Reality needs to win this game. Otherwise, STX is going to take the Broodlord best of 3. And look at this, the Wraith spawning for the tanks, doing more damage here. I mean, Bogus is contained, but he keeps picking off bits of this contain. And Reality hasn't taken advantage of it to the extent that, you know, he's not expanded again. He's not, well, basically expanded again. That's what you really want to do when you have this kind of nice forward position, because now he can take like any base on the map safely. and Bogus is stuck on his 3 base. So Reality really needs to take another base now, and then kind of just get his infrastructure going, get ready for a huge 3 base attack from Bogus, and if he defends it, then he'll win. One thing that also makes it more important to expand more quickly now is that the 3rd bases on Jade obviously have the reduced gas value, so they only have 1500 gas on that Geyser as opposed to the normal 5000 gas that you have on Geysers. And gas being, you know, the all-important resource in TVT means that you can't sit back on your 3 base for quite as long as you used to be able to on Jade. Meanwhile, we do have a big drop going in though, 3 dropships and a bunch of wraiths for cover. They will probably get spotted by some mines and that floating building, whatever that is, if he does go there. And look at this! It seems that Reality is either scanned this or he's aware of what's going on because he's moving his units back. Or was he just like running away from wraiths or something? I'm not actually sure what's going on there. But like, Bogus motioned as if he was going to drop, and then Reality pulls everything back, and oh my god, what's going on? Whoa! Of all places to drop, that was not the best one. What the hell? He was just like, well, this is a big ass minefield here. Let me just put some tanks on this. It'll be fine. Did he? It's like almost as if he knew they were there and decided to do like the dumbest thing possible. I'm so confused. Oh man. Anyway, dropship's now moving out once again. He's just like trying to clear his way out the bottom here because he's contained. So he's going to set up a bit of position, but we see a lot of white units moving across the minimap here. And Reality has taken the top left natural as well, as I said he should. He's got still a 20-something supply lead. He's moving in here, going to crush this attack. Yeah, even though the tanks are siege, there's just way too many units coming out for Reality. This little drop for Bogus, and oh! Big mine there on the tanks. Good stuff. Although, he doesn't actually kill the last siege tank for some reason. Reality forgot about the last tank. That last tank, he just like played dead. Like, he's in the red health, so he just like laid down. He's like, guys, I'm dead. Don't attack me. I wonder if Reality's just gonna go counter into the main base. Is he gonna let that Silence Facility die? Are you serious? That thing's expensive, man. Don't let that die. Wow, he let it die. He can't upgrade anymore now. I assume he started +2 anyway, so maybe he doesn't care. But that's a bit silly. See, the observer's showing us his +1 was finished. So yeah, his +2 is started, but if he wants any more upgrades, he's gonna have to remake that, and that's pretty gas heavy. But anyway, here we go, another big attack here onto the bottom left, with some vultures moving into the top left expansion that is completely undefended. He could lose all his SCVs there, even though he's gonna kill all the army of Bogus. And oh my god, Bogus even suiciding some of his air units. But it looks like Reality pays attention, brings some tanks in to help defend, and rescues his SCVs. Oh my god, those mines, though, the mine could be huge! Oh man, that mine could have been so huge. I thought it was going to kill all those SCVs, Jesus. Anyway, the command center that was floated out to that bottom left base there is taken down, and oh man, looks like Bogus is going to go for it. That's not going to work. That is not going to work. He drops too early, he got a dropship sniped. He's going to do some good damage to the contain, but I don't think it's going to work at all. Oh man, and GG from Bogus. Reality keeping Khan alive. We're not really alive, because it's only the first best of 3. But evening up the score 1-1 with Bogus. Bogus, unfortunately, just cannot figure out how to TVT. He looks so sad, too. I would be so sad, too. It's like, if he gets a TVZ or a TVP, he's awesome. But if he gets a TVT, he just looks like a scrub. I mean, he showed an amazing game against, not amazing, but a really crisp game against some Zerg. I can't remember who it was. Where he just did like a really sick timing attack and just busted the Zerg who was going 3-hatch Muta. But this is just... I feel so bad for him.